I think you're cheering because it's the final session, right? Now, I want to start with a public service announcement. And I don't have a vested interest in this, but I hear that if you mention stuff about Canada, then there's a possibility of free socks and stuff like that. And, you know, I'm not particularly interested in that, but anyway. So my name's Richard Cave, and I'm a speech therapist. I am not based in Canada. I'm based in London, England. And I am going to talk about Mind's Eye, which is a tool for expression using art. And I have a special guest as well, Rick, who is going to who has been test driving it the whole afternoon. And so Rick will give his unvarnished opinion, just like normal. Now, I don't know if I've... So I'm going to talk a little bit about AI, because this is artificial intelligence in practice. This is AI-generated art. This is what AI, I think, should be. Going to talk about Mind's Eye, and we jointly co-developed it with people living with MND ALS in England, and I'll tell you how they're using it. I think there's over 1,000 people using it currently. It's only been out a couple of months. It's a free, just to put it into perspective, it's a free grid set in Grid 3 and Grid for iPad. So if your ALS clients have Grid 3 or Grid for iPad, just go into the online section, and there it is. That's it. Going to do the demo. I wanted to demo it live, but the video graphics didn't quite work out here, so I do have a recording of me doing it live. So it's a recorded live thing. And then I'll tell you where it all came from, and then the next steps. So AI is this thing that's literally everywhere, and we're all talking about it. And the question is, what is it? And lots of people will give you technical answers, none of which I understand. But what I'm far more interested in is actually what it can do for us. And one of the things that kind of people are talking about in terms of how AI can help us is that for our clients that use stuff like eye gaze, traditionally, e.g. between now and the year dot, communication using eye gaze has been incredibly slow because people are just kind of selecting and pre-storing messages, and there's some auto-suggestion. The idea with just one idea is that you can use AI to include other modalities to get a better understanding of where people are, what the context is, and who they're talking to. And so the idea is that AI could potentially put all that stuff together, so any auto-suggestion for people using eye gaze will be very relevant to the person they're talking in the place they are. And that feels like an application that I would be interested in. But there's lots of stuff talked about, and that feels like that's something that could help our guys. And so, you know, artificial intelligence is a tool, but actually it's all about us. That's what this is. It's not a thing out there. It's actually about us. And actually what AI is, it just collates huge amounts of data, massive servers, and it kind of makes judgments. So it's really powerful. Oh. There's one problem though, that unfortunately I have not seen people living with MND ALS discussed in terms of how AI is and what people are doing. I was following a TED talk about 6 weeks ago, where the great and the good talked about AI. The experts, there were 35 speakers, over 2 days. And I was waiting to hear what one of the speakers, or any of the speakers, would say about inclusivity and accessibility for our guys. And I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. So there is something here that is missing, and it's our voices and it's our clients too. And yet AI is extremely powerful, and it's already here. It's a solution searching for a problem. But the thing is, no one's talking about the work that we do. So we need to be involved. And we've talked about this earlier, that this is advocacy, and it's advocacy which we as clinicians and professionals working in this space, this is us. And I know from speech therapy land, which is where I come from, it feels like I'd like to deal with people. I like to deal with people, but the people I work with could benefit from this technology, so I need to talk about the technology too. So we as speech therapists, we as professionals, we need to advocate with big tech and other companies that have this stuff. And people may know that I work part-time at Google. I am the hired help. People call me the nag, because I say the same thing many, many times. And what I know is that at Google, as at other big tech companies, they are super bright. They're half my age. They want to do the right thing. They can code like crazy. But the problem is they don't really know what the right thing is, and yet they're building stuff for us. And so what we have is groups of people who really can do loads of stuff, but we need to bring everybody together to get the right stuff done. So that's my job there, but this is something that all of us, whenever we get the opportunity to talk about. Co-design is something that we're all passionate about, and it's not just part of a project, it's all the project. And I try to do that at Google. It's very hard, but it's just something that we have to do, and it can be done. This is another non-profit that works with people with sight loss. Are working right now with OpenAI. That's the Chat GPT folks, and they're working together. So it can be done. On to Mind's Eye. So this is Art for Expression tool, and we know that if we get the opportunity, we can work with AI to work for benefit of our clients. And, it's like, what is it? Well, it's nothing really amazing. What it is it's taking two technologies that exist already and putting them together. So the first technology is this AI art generation tool that's been out for a long time, but really hard to use. The other technology is Smartbox Grid 3, which has been out for a long time, and many of our clients use. And we put them together. That means that people that use eye gaze, head mouse, switch, direct access, any combination, go create. So I'm going to show you a live video. And I'm sorry,
let's just do stuff. So
I'm just typing something in.
How about that? So happy to meet you. And you can just, if you want, you can just click on Imagine and it will just do stuff straight away. Just create something straight away. Or you can go to Vibes, which gives you a choice of kind of themes that you can just go for, like sci-fi, cyberpunk, magical, colour photo, all sorts of interesting stuff. Or you can go for custom, the whole deal, so that over 100 options that you can choose, any number or none if you don't want to. The medium, like a watercolour, the artists, I don't know, Claude Monet, Wes Anderson, great film. Style, Impressionism, Bauhaus, pop art, details, octane render, whatever that is, intricate detail, lighting, I mean, it just goes on. And so you could be as detailed as you like if you have an opinion on these things, or not. You could just choose one or even none. Or if you want to add a new artist that you would like to base your art on, then go right ahead. So just going to go back, and so we've got So Happy to Meet You. I'm just going to imagine that's just one click. I haven't got time for anything else. Let's do one click, see what happens. I've got no idea what will happen. Hopefully something will. And so that's the first image, and we can reimagine as many times as we like. You can just keep on going and just see what comes out. So that's quite colourful. I'm going to edit now, and I'm going to go into vibes. I'm going to copy that just in case I lose it. Okay. I lost it already. So happy to meet you.
This art is unique. It's just generated on the fly.
Just going to copy that. Just in case. I'm going to vibes, and so, you know, I don't know. How about cute? Let's do cute. Let's do cute. So, just see what happens with cute. That is cute. That is cute. Region reimagine. That's very cute. And oh my goodness, that's pretty damn cute as well. So I'm going to close that, and I'll put in So Happy to Meet You again. Go the full hog with custom. So I don't know, watercolour. Artists now, I'm a big fan of Impressionism, but I'll go for Monet, but I could have gone for anything. Style, Impressionism, I don't know. All sorts of things. Details, cinematic, lighting. It just goes on, doesn't it? It just goes on. Volumetric lighting, how about that? I've got no idea what that is. And then colour, camera, I can't be bothered. I don't really understand. But other people do. So you can have as much control or as little as you like. And I think that is beautiful. Let's just reimagine and see what else comes up. Literally, I have no idea what will come up. And that's the beauty of this, that it's just created on the fly. No one has ever seen these images before. And that's how this works. So, great. All right, and if you want to share your images, you can share to the public gallery. Problem is I need to log in to do that, but I could do that, and then share it, or I can copy and paste it and send it off to my friends, or not. It's entirely up to you. So, anyway, I'm so happy to meet you.
Yeah. So, worked with 5 people living with MND, ALS, and just asked them, gave it to them and asked them what they were using it for. And there were kind of these different use cases. The first was just like having fun, just doing stuff, being creative, just doing stuff, which was very nice. The second one lady working with, she is using it for personal reflection, on just kind of helping her to think about where she is right now. The third was about sharing feelings, and they say, picture's worth 1,000 words, and particularly if you're an eye gaze user, it can take a long time to type out exactly how you feel. And this is just another modality. Another thing was about demonstrating competence, just a way to show that I'm still the same person inside, even though it's hard for me to move, and it's hard for me. And also kind of communication. And this one is was typed "I love you" on that one. So what I've learnt is that it's better to talk about ideas and to kind of pool our heads together. And when it comes to innovation, it's better to be social than smart. Thank God for that, because I'm not smart. And it's just really great for us to be together and actually talk about this stuff. It looks like I'm up to my 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. And, when we do good things happen. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Richard. It was all that blatant Canada thing that put you over the edge. So I believe there's a question right down here in the front. So everyone else can get their questions ready.
Hello, I'm Rick. I am an artist, and as you rightly observe, you gave me this iPad earlier on. When you get it back, I can assure you it'll weigh about 15 times what it did when you gave it to me, because it is full of pictures. I have had such a brilliant afternoon, just creating many, many pictures of reflections, all the kind of things I love doing, art, light, trees, mountains, fields, flowers. And I can tell you that I haven't explored any of the fancy buttons. I just simply, for example, wrote tempest, storm, vibrant, horizon, surf, and pressed imagine. And I got the most amazing, fantastic picture. And then I got the most amazing, fantastic picture. And I kept on getting the most amazing, fantastic picture. And so my question is there any need for a question? It's just...
There is no need for a question. Thank you, Rick.
Well, we all want to know, is it only on Grid 2? But thank you, Rick, for sharing that. And I'm sure he'll share if anyone wants to go up and see the pictures that he's made so far. So we do have time for more questions.
I'll be super quick. Susan from Australia. I think this is such an exciting space. I love the idea of AI and where it's going, and it's coming, it's here, and it's just going to increase at an exponential rate. I actually used AI in my presentation. My last image in my presentation was AI generated. Yeah. And it took a while to get the right language, but it did. For me, I felt when I created it, it portrayed everything that I was trying to say without using words. And it was a fun process. So I can see the value in the art and where it comes from. So
lovely. Thank you.
Was there another question back there?
I love these questions because I don't need to answer them.
So there is one online.
Okay.
Well, this might be a social question, but it's also a smart question, and it comes from the problem solvers. He said, thanks, Richard. Any other AI platforms? Sorry, skipped it. This is from the ALS problem solvers. My intention is to use AI with Daniel Boyce and dive into the doctor's notes and the EHR systems to extract ALS info to speed diagnosis. Do you know anybody who's currently working on that?
I don't. I wish I did. Does anyone know? Yeah, John?
I'm just aware that there is work being done with electronic medical record systems, including rollout of new Epic systems that we're exploring to understand how to quickly pull out information, and it is using, as you rightfully pointed out, pretty much everything around us is using AI.
Yeah. That was actually on reflection. There was a panel of eminent consultants here a couple of days ago, and they were talking about plans for kind of all their research and all the rest of it. And I was itching to ask them, we have AI. It's been around a year, and it's still going longer than that. It's still going. It's accelerating even now. How can we accelerate clinical trials? How can we do that? And at the very least, I'm sure that that we should be thinking about that. And yeah.
There's loads of people who are working on that. And then the other question from Turkey was any AI platforms for composing music.
Anyone know of any AI platforms for composing music? It would be fantastic if there was.
We had something last year, but I don't remember what the name of it was.
I will
do a rhythm, but Albert's involved with that.
Oh,
I will take that as an AI
All right.
action item.
Well, then that actually brings us to the end of this session.
We made it.